sure by now we have all heard of the YouTube channel Adventures with Purpose and know what they do. And this is their founding member, Jarek Lysick. I hope I said his name right, which I'm pretty sure I butchered his last name. But if you want to know what he is alleged of doing and my opinion on everything that has happened so far, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
This is the case of Jarek Lysick. Now, Mr. Lysick, which I'm pretty sure, like I said before, I butchered his last name, but we're just going to call him Jarek for the sake of this video. So Jarek works with a search and rescue team or a recovery team known as Adventures with Purpose here on YouTube. And they go into lakes and other large bodies of water and pull out cars, trucks, and other vehicles, sometimes found with remains of loved ones, of family members, and people who have been searching for their loved ones for quite a while with no answers. And Adventures with Purpose comes in and they search these bodies of water with tools and other search gear that they have found, and then they go in and pull out these cars and other vehicles with the remains of these families' loved ones inside. Now, aside from that, Mr. Lysick, which has been in the news quite a while lately over the past few weeks, has been to alleged 20 plus years ago been charged with the SA of, I think, a family member and also another minor child. Like I said, 20 plus years ago, and now these things are coming to light. And I have to say allegedly because of, certain reasons. And a lot of his team members have quit. And later on in the video, I will insert clips from his former team members explaining why they quit. But something that was very interesting to me when I was doing research for this case, one of his former team members, Doug, whose last name escapes me right now, said that he comes from a world where there was a code, or there is a code, and that code has been violated. Now, I wonder if he speaks of the code where you do not touch or harm children in that way. And if he is, kudos to you, sir, for saying that that code has been violated. And, he also said that he has a daughter and he is now a family man, so he cannot and he will not stand with this type of behavior, which I also say kudos to you, sir, because you seem to be on the right track in this situation. Now, I know many of us know that, sometimes there is a saying that there is no honor amongst thieves. But I feel like even though there are some of the most heartless killers and even robbers and whatever, a lot of these people will tell you that they, even though they have committed a lot of crimes and done a lot of things, not speaking of the Adventures with Purpose team right now, but just people who are criminals and what have you in general, they even have or live by the code that you do not harm children and elderly people and, people who cannot defend themselves in this type of way or any other way. Now, for those people who do live by this code, as Mr. Doug explains in his video, which I'll insert a clip later where he talks about this, I do believe that anyone who violates that belief or that code, I think they should be handled in a certain manner. And seeing as Mr. Lysick or Jared allegedly did not live by this code and he violated this rule, I think he should be dealt with in a certain manner. Now, for those people who say, oh, he was young, he didn't know what he was doing, or who even not him, as far as other people who I have heard personally say out of their mouth, oh, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing, this, that, or the third, or who lives by that excuse, that does not equate to an apology. That does not equate to an I'm sorry for what happened to those people or to the people who I've hurt in this manner. I feel like they also should be dealt with in a certain type of manner as well. The article published by ABC 10 News that I read has some disturbing things in it, but according to the documents, Mr. Jared, that's what we'll call him for the remainder of this video because I can't pronounce his name, had sexual intercourse with a 9-year-old girl in 1992. The document filed November 3rd in the 6th Judicial District Court for Santa Fe County says he was 7 years older than the girl at the time. Utah does not have a statute of limitations for rape, which is good because I know that some cases have been thrown out because of statute of limitations in certain cities and states and counties for rape after a certain amount of time has passed. But it is good that Utah does not have a statute of limitations on cases of rape. And I'm going to say all of this is alleged because, we have to say that for purposes of YouTube. So it is alleged that he did any of this right now. Now, it is alleged in this court document that Mr. Jared had intercourse with this 9-year-old girl on 2 separate occasions. And my question to the adults that were around at the time, and even some of the people that they have worked with now, is how many of you knew that this was going on? Specifically right now, I'm speaking to the adults that were around when this was happening all those years ago. How many of you knew and how many of you helped cover up his dirty little secret for all these years? And for the people who have recently started to work with him, like some of the crew members on the Adventures with Purpose team, how many of you knew about something happening, and how many of you knew what happened, and were you bound by legal contracts for not speaking out? But for those who have resigned, now, I don't blame those of you who say that there are legal things in place that keep you from telling the full story, because I understand that contracts were signed and things of that nature were done. But to Mr. Jarrett, did you have these people sign these contracts because you knew that one day it could all fall apart and hit the fan, so to speak, and you wanted to cover your ass so that they couldn't speak against you? And I'm glad to those people who resigned and said that they do not stand with this type of behavior. And kudos to those people who, when they really found out what was going on, they resigned and said, okay, we're not with this, so we're out.
Hey everybody, I appreciate the support. It's I haven't hardly seen anything negative. Everything's been positive support, and me and my cousin Ro, we completely appreciate it. I have been getting this out my entire life. Back when I was younger, I actually was put into counseling for a while by one of my step parents because she knew that it was happening and possibly happening to a couple of my other half siblings. So, and if I was really good in math, so I all of a sudden one day my life changed and I had to go to these meetings after school, and I realized the constant in the questioning, which was Jared. Every single time I went, they would ask me all kinds of different questions, but the constant on at every single meeting was Jared, and is Jared doing things to you? And I wouldn't say anything. I would protect him. He had me manipulated at a very young age because this wasn't our secret. I had an aunt that I really looked up to. So when I was manipulated into doing these things at a young age, he didn't tell me it was our secret. He told me it was, my aunt's secret. This is what my aunt showed him, which I don't believe. I definitely don't believe that. I honestly think that he told me this only to manipulate me into keeping my mouth shut, because I was a sister. I would rat him out for anything. He did the same thing to me. He set me up on all kinds of things when I was younger that I would have to turn into like a little investigator and try to investigate and prove my way, to freedom from a lot of the punishments that I would get because
After school, and they would ask her things like, is he, touching you? Has he done anything to you, like what he's being accused of? And like she also stated, she believes that her stepmother knew that this was happening to other family members, possibly in her family as well. Now I think that, you know it should be noted that, I, like I said before, all of this is alleged, but it seems that since the news has gotten a hold of certain documents and certain files, it is safe to say that none of this is alleged anymore, because as we see, all of his team members are basically leaving and resigning. And I don't think that this is because of alleged accusations. I think that there is hardcore proof of this. And like I said before, in several other videos where children have been harmed, I think that people like this should be dealt with in a certain manner. And I think that's just the way it goes, because as you'll see later, one of his team members, or former team members, should I say, Doug, said that there is a code and the code has been violated. And I agree with this man. And just because this code has been violated, even though it was 20 plus years ago, I think he still needs to be dealt with in a certain manner. And I think because of these allegations, Adventures with Purpose is probably going to lose many subscribers because of this. And I know for me personally, they have lost a subscriber because of this, because this is not okay that he did this, even though it was 20 plus years ago, and it has been swept under the rug until now. Although this interview goes on for quite a while, you can see why I said I wonder who knew and who was helping him cover up his dirty little secret for all this time. And the interview is much longer, but I just wanted to get that clip in to let you see why my questioning was who knew, how long had they known, and who helped him cover it up as a child. Now, I'll post the link in the description box where I got this audio from and let you, if you want to listen to it, hear the rest of the interview and, see how this interview goes on in much more detail and let you listen to what I heard. And, a lot of it is kind of, well, not kind of, but is disturbing to, in the way that this caller and family member describes these things that happened to her as a child. And you'll see what I mean when you listen to the audio.
Everybody wants to know how I feel right now. I have become the voice of our purpose, what we have all come together to do. And now what has happened 30 years ago has come to light, and it's affecting everybody involved with this. There are contracts in place. There's legal ramifications. With me even speaking my opinion. But in this scenario, I got to keep it real to everybody who loved Adventures with Purpose, who loves Adventures with Purpose, who loves what we were able to accomplish in this world. We've proven that what we have done works, it's effective, it's a need for it. We tell people stories. We are the voice for the voiceless. When we are covering these people's stories and going into their homes and representing them and telling their story of their missing loved ones, that's what it is we do. Do nothing else, And I'm not just speaking for me, because I'm not the only one that's involved in this. There are other people's lives who are affected by this, and that's what this is about. And being real is all you can be. That's all you got in this world is what you stand for and how you come up. Yeah, done a lot of good in this world, and everybody's got a story to tell. Everyone, absolutely everybody has a story to tell. Where I come from though, there's codes. Where I go from here, I have a lot of support, and I love everybody who's reaching out and just telling me and letting me know that I have your support and that you stand with me. And my future is just going to go with being real. I'll continue to follow the passion that I've developed with helping people, with, telling somebody's story. I come from the towing industry, and now I pull cars out underwater, helping families get answers. I've developed that passion. It's unfortunate that I've developed that passion and this has happened. It doesn't align with what I believe in. I have daughters, I'm a father, and I come from a real rough background. And I've changed my life. I've become a really good man, and I've always followed the code. And that code has been violated.
Just wanted to be real with you guys, and I wanted to take a moment to try to address the issue that should have been addressed by now, which we were all hoping for better leadership in this, which is why I have officially resigned from being part of the search team, which I don't need to mention, it's pretty obvious, that I have been a part of in the past. I will live my life with integrity and morale and knowing that I did the right thing and made the right decision, which I hope you guys can support. For the past year and a half. But there's some things that have been brought to the light that the team and I were not aware of, and not aware of until very, very recently. And we're not okay with it. And it has created this avalanche of momentum, which it should have when it needed to, against certain things that allegedly have happened with someone that we trusted. It is currently Tuesday, November 8th, 11:14. And I just wanted to come on here and try to tell you about Josh Cantu. So I am not going to be speaking about...
As you see here, guys, two of his team members have resigned, and I'm pretty sure there are many more to follow. And some of the people who have worked with him have probably disassociated themselves with him. And guys, thanks so much for taking the time to watch these videos. And if you guys like this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and share this video. And also let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.